Sumo. Hi everyone, I'm Crow77. Today we're going to take a look at a Paifu. That is a review of someone's game to, look at mistakes and that sort of thing. Now, most of these games come from my viewers, so if you're interested in getting in on the action, take a look in the description. We have a Discord server where you can just submit games that you want to. Now, there's also a Patreon if you don't want to wait in the queue and want to get right to the top of the list. So, without any further ado, remember to like and subscribe, and let's take a look at the game. Okay, so it looks like this player wants to just have a general game review, nothing in particular they're looking at right now. We can do that. Let's take a look. Hold on. So I get that pairs aren't necessarily good. You have a couple pairs and everything, but don't start with discarding a pair of nines here. Like, honestly, I'd probably just drop the east. It's not that big of a deal, but not the pair, that's for sure. Looks like it was an oversight though, because they didn't follow with the second one there right away. Yeah, okay, so here we probably dropped the 5 mon. No. No, so I think I like the 5 mon better here, just because the 2's the Dora. You want to hold on to this 8, even though we're going for a Tanyao at this point, almost assuredly. If we keep the 8, we can draw the 4 pin still and make a run there. So it basically creates a 6-7-8 shape with 3-3-5. But then we still have the option to use the 5 pin if we draw like a 3 or something. So definitely something to watch out for there. Not the fastest hand in the world. We do pass that. So I think with how late it's getting, we kind of might want to give up a little bit here. Obviously the ideal is to have a closed hand and everything here. But with 3 pairs in hand, I think I'd rather just take the pawn on this 3. Probably discard the 5 again. Hold on to the 2, maybe just drop the 2 right away, honestly, because the 5 looks safer on the board. But something to kind of speed up this hand, even if it does cheapen it a bit. Okay, 5 does finally come out, and we get lucky and draw at 3. That's very lucky. And then player sumos with not much else. So interesting that they dama that hand. Usually a reach Paifu, Tanyao, or yeah, reach Paifu, Tanyao Dora would be very standard. So not sure what was going on there, but we can keep going. Okay, pretty advanced starting hand here. Draws the pair of honors, which is fine to hold on to here, but we don't want to hard commit to it if we don't have to. Hold up. Yeah, I don't like this discard of the 1 here. So if we discard this 1, we're discarding our only other pair other than these red dragons, which does not seem great here. I'd rather discard this 5 just because it's redundant. That way we have the option of drawing the 2 pins, still making 10 pi, and we're not, hamstringing ourselves or anything like that. Okay, and here we would be 10 pi on a good weight with Chun, 1 Dora, Riichi. Yeah, so it definitely would have paid off to be able to keep the extra pair there. Okay. I don't know about this one. Like at this point, Chun Dora 2, with a bad weight like this, I'd rather just probably dama. I don't think the reach is worth it here, because 5,200 points with a bad weight is pretty standard. Unless there's some kind of trap or something, I wouldn't really reach this. If you have a good weight, it's fine, but we don't in this case, so I'd probably dama instead. Another player gets the win here off of Riichi. I missed the Riichi here, actually. Where was that? Oh, I missed that it was late. Yeah, I'm not sure. I still don't like the Riichi here. I don't really think it's worth it. I'd rather be able to bail, like, if something like really dangerous comes up, like a red 5 or something. I don't know. It just feels really weird to Riichi this hand. Anyway. Alright, decent starting hand here. Starting off with the drop of the west or the white. I don't mind either one. West gets pawned by the north seat. Interesting. Okay, we take the pawn here. We're one away from Tenpai, and we have a Dora that's isolated. I'm really worried about this Dora right now, especially with the hand on the left side. Calling 2 honors like that without having a direct Yaku, like, yeah, it looks like they're going for a Mansu Honitsu. But even with that, I'd be very concerned about this tile. Oh, and that's coming out here. They might be very close to Tenpai. Or they might be in Tenpai. Wait, why didn't we chi that? I just realized. Moving a little bit too fast for my own good here. So I guess the chi... Like, the argument here would be that if we chi, we have to discard the green dragon to take Tenpai. But what's the alternative? Because if we draw it ourselves, we're in the same position. So it doesn't change anything there. I think at this point, you could do something like chi and then discard 9/9 pin. And try to really force that dragon in there. But with 2/7 so out, you can also just drop the 9/8. Yeah, I think I like the 9/8 drop better. So, a little bit of an odd one there. I probably would have taken that chi. God, so this guy's on Toy Toy instead? I guess. So if it's Toy Toy, this is still very dangerous here. So, like, it's just really weird that we didn't chi that 5 so long ago to make the same play. I don't know. We get the con, no extra Dora for us. Why do we switch that weight? So there's no reach on the board. The 6 doesn't look particularly safe at all. The 7's safer and the 4 is even safer than that. So 4 is the safest thing we can do. Am I missing how many 5s and 8s there are? No, there's 1 5 discarded. Yeah, no, I think that's just a mistake. I don't see the benefit in taking a worse weight there. And we are punished. It looks like the 8 mon comes out and we heal in. Yep. So there's the green dragon as expected. Oh wow, it wasn't even Manzu. I wouldn't love to go back and look at that hand. I don't know how that developed like that. But yeah, in that sort of situation, like, I don't know why you switch the weight there. Definitely take the better one, especially when you have cheap hands like that. Oh wow, another very advanced starting hand here. 2 Shanten with Dora, and immediately find the honor. We do call it here. And it's our only pair right now, so I actually don't mind waiting on this, especially with the Ryamen Tenpai. That way we can do Riichi Dora, instead of committing to just the white dragon and 1 Dora. So wait on this one, see how you feel. But I don't think it's worth it to just hit it that early. We do hit Tenpai. Probably favored to win, and no, naturally. Okay, so a Mangan hand. Riichi Pots Pinfu Dora. Yeah, so this is just very greedy. We have 2 safe tiles in hand in all likelihood with the 1 mon and the 3. So I don't think I like pushing here. There's just nothing to indicate this 4 is available. So yeah, I would probably just fold at this point. Okay, so Silly's 4, we are in a tough spot as far as points go. We'll need to start doing something here soon, but we'll see what that ends up being. We see the pawn of white on the right side. We don't see any of the Dora yet. That's an interesting draw. So here we have the potential to get a 5, 6, 7 on Shoku. It's a little bit of an awkward shape with this over here, but it's still possible. We also have the options to cut the 9 mon and go for a Tanyo. So those are things we gotta watch out for. We draw the 8. What's that do for us? Really, this is just another tile on a dead shape, right? So I don't see too big of a benefit in discarding the 7, but we do want to integrate that 5-pin anyway. So I'm okay with the 7 from a forcing perspective, but the 8 doesn't really do much for us. I'd rather have the 9 here, so I have like a 5-7-9 shape.
ロン、それちょうだい。
Okay, just a Paifu only is what it is. A little bit of an uglier starting hand here. So... Alright. Getting some decent draws here, but it is a little bit slow, and we do see the Riichi out here. So I'm going to slow this one down to kind of see how this player handles defense. So a little bit incorrect there already. So you still want to give yourself winning chances anytime you're folding if possible. So the correct play in this situation is to discard the 9-mon, because we have 2 Riichis out, it's safe against both of them, and it doesn't affect our shapes. It's not super likely we're going to win this one, but we still want to play correctly and make sure we discard that as opposed to this one-so discard that isn't safe against Toyman. Okay, reasonable draw here. Still the 1. Yeah, the 9 was just... it just got missed by the look of it.
ロン、
Okay.
それちょうだい。
Looks like it didn't make a huge difference anyway, and we would have dealt in with the 2 if we kept pushing there. Yeah, so a little bit weak on defense there. Always make sure you give yourself those winning chances while still playing as safely as possible. Okay. So discarding honors, that's fine. Nothing too exciting here. Nothing too abnormal in the discards. This is where these shapes start to get interesting, though. So the ideal wouldn't be to turn this into an Itsu, but I don't think that's super likely. So we'll see what gets drawn here. Ooh. I don't like that. So here I prefer going after the Tanyao, I think. So you hold on to the 3. So you have the 3-sided weight here. You discard the 9, and you have 6, 7, 8, pair of 5s, and then still a Ryanman shape here. It's a perfect Ishanten. With 2 Dori, you could even pawn this 3 when it comes out. It's just a much better shape to begin with. So I'm not sure why you're throwing away the Sunman-chan there. And we draw a pair somewhere else, so we really just hard pushing that Itsu. Oh god, are we gonna get it? We did get it. Naturally. Yeah, you got rewarded for something that you really shouldn't have there. I really don't like that line of play. Obviously it worked out, but that really shouldn't be the judge in Mahjong. In this sort of thing, you want to look at the highest EV, and I don't think this was it, just because, you know, it ended up taking way too many steps to get there. This looks like another Tanyao hand to me. So starting with the either Red Dragon, or I'm actually okay with discarding the 1-so on the first discard here. But yeah, Red Dragon's fine. So cutting off that, I just don't like these shapes early. So I discard the 1-2 here, keep that great Sanman-chan shape once again. You seem to be discarding a lot of those, so be careful with that, because you really want to keep those better shapes. It'll really help you with your final weight a lot of times. Discards it again, and that would have completed the shape. And then we see a Riichi on the table. So here we're probably fighting. I don't see a reason not to Riichi, because this 7 just came out. It's really what we gotta do here, and that is what happens. So now we just sit back and see who wins first.
Lonya!
And we're the ones who deal in. So Riichi Paifu only, not the end of the world, and we are just barely out of last place. Being 6,400 points behind, looking at the starting hand, it doesn't look like a 6,400 point hand. So I'm trying to look at this and figure out some way to end the game quickly so we don't have to worry about being in fourth. Okay, this is fine. Okay, so this is going for what looks like a Paifu. There is an Itsu chance there. I'd rather keep this, discard the 1, and go for the Pinton direction. No, I'm fine with holding the Itsu for a minute. Like, we can discard the Sanzo here, but we do just discard the 5. I don't think this 3 really does much for us, though. Like, if we discard it, we only really lose out on a Sanzo or a 2-pin draw. So really not a big deal there. And the 5 is just a great shape for floating. I guess we have the discarded 3 already. It's close. And we Riichi a Kanchan? So we take a Riichi on the Dora to reach ourselves into last place. I hate this. Like, this is... I don't think this is a good play at all, honestly. I'd be looking for really any way to do this other than that. Like I talked about discarding this 1 earlier, you want to get some kind of Yaku that you can defend and don't have to Riichi into last like this in order to try to defend your 3rd place here. So I don't like the direction of the hand building, and naturally it works out again with the Uradora to take 2nd. Like, yeah, like you got a decent result and everything, but really you need to take a look at your hand building, figure out where your hands are going, what the best winning chances are, and definitely try to speed up those hands a bit more. Aside from that, take a look at your defense, try and make that defense a little bit more solid while giving yourself those winning chances when they're available. I think that's all I got, though. So that's kind of the big takeaway there. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. But I think we'll call it there. So thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back with another Paifu at some point here. I'll see you soon.